Are y'all ready for Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Well, hello, guys. Hope you guys are all doing great. As we kind of end the end of the year, want to welcome you to our York Middle School Cougar Band Awards Night. This is not the way we planned it originally, obviously, but we are glad to be here, and hopefully wherever you are and you're watching, we hope that you and your family are safe and that everybody is well. So the reason I show that little short video is because I love the joy you see on Terry Cruz's face, because that's the way music should be. Music should bring us joy. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't, also times when we feel challenged or when things can be difficult. But challenge and difficult aren't always a bad thing, right? Many of you guys out there are athletes. I was a school athlete. And one of the things that you oftentimes did was you challenged yourself or you challenged your teammates in order to make yourselves better. And I think we can learn a lot, from that, using that also when we're talking about music and about any of our studies. So tonight we have come to, some folks who have really worked very, very hard this year and over the course of this last, 2 months or so. And we wanted to acknowledge some of the strides that some folks have made. I wanted to say that I am very fortunate to be the band director at York Middle School. I feel blessed every day. And the reason why is because I get to see and work with some of the coolest kids in Gaston County. I get to work with students not just from one grade level, but I get to work with students from 6th through 8th grade, and I count that as a privilege. And even, I get to work a little bit with the high school kids if I get to go over to Huss, or even if I get to stick my face in at one of the elementary schools. I feel very fortunate to be able to work with students at these different levels and kind of share my experience. Music has meant a lot to me and has molded and shaped a lot of things in my life. And I wanted to share that same joy and share some of those same experiences, and hopefully even better with my students. So you guys, love you guys, and I hope, again, you're doing well. For my 8th graders who are leaving, we're going to miss you guys tremendously. Strange way to kind of be parting ways, but I hope you guys continue to make music. Find yourselves with some of the great students in the bands at Huss or Forest View or Ashbrook or Highland or wherever you guys decide to go. I know you're going to do great, and I can't wait to hear those marching bands once we get rolling again. Well, without further ado, let's start into our awards, because that's why we're here tonight. And what I want to do is I want to start off with our youngest students. These students all began playing this year for the first time, and I'm just extremely proud of the strides that they have made this year. This is our 6th grade brass class. All of our classes are given African names. The entire band is called Ubuntu, which means I am, because we are. Just a reminder that we're all one. And then each individual class is given a color under Ubuntu. And this class is called Nyekundu, which means red in Swahili. This is our brass 6th grade class. Want to give a shout out to everybody in that class, but especially our top rank point getters. I'm very excited about all of our classes and the strides they made. And for Nyekundu, the student that had the most number of points was Miss Ariel. Congratulations, Ariel. This is a picture of her receiving her honor roll certificate and what have you. You're going to notice that a lot of our band students, you'll find on the honor roll and that type of thing, because the music and learning how to solve problems really, helps them in all their classes. So I'm so proud of Miss Ariel and the progress that she's made this year. So she is our top point earner for Nyakundu. So wherever you are, if you give her a hand, congratulations, Ariel. And she recently had a birthday. Now, going on to our next 6th grade class, as you can tell from the picture, these are all woodwind players, flute, clarinet, and we had 1 sax this year. And we want to acknowledge the #1 rank point earner for this class. All of our students work in a self-paced manner, and they work through a system called the rank point system that comes from Eric Combs. He's the teacher of the year from the state of Illinois. And it's a great system. Again, the kids can move at their own pace, which means they can really go through quickly if they so choose to and work really hard. The #1 point getter for this class is Mr. Jaden. So congratulations, Jaden. Again, this is his honor roll picture. He received the most number of points for his 6th grade class. And those were our 2 6th grade sections. So let's give them a hand. Now we're going to get ready to move on to 7th grade. Okay, we're going to get this going. It's always interesting when you're doing things this way. Technology. Here we go. And let's give a hand to our 7th grade class, the first section. So this class is our first section of 7th grade, and they are in Njano. And let's take a look at our #1 point getter for Njano this year. And our winner for the #1 point getter for Njano is Mr. Ajalan. Congratulations. Very good job, clarinet player. And Mr. Ajalan scored 43 points so far this year. And if you keep in mind, all the students start with 0 points. So it's kind of like a game. In order to raise your level, you have to earn the points. There's nothing given. So he has actually earned 43 points on 43 separate assignments so in order to do that, all these students have got to get 100 on a point in order to get that point. So he had 43 100s this year. So not bad, right? Congratulations, Mr. Ajalan, for our 7th grade first section for Njano. Okay, next comes our 7th grade, our second section, which is Machungwa. And we want to give a shout out, congratulations to the award winner for Machungwa for the most number of points. This student, this is actually a beginner class because I do a starting class of 7th graders. And congratulations to Mr. Ronnie Ronnie is one of our beginners, and he scored 42 points, which means he has 42 100s this year, because you have to show mastery of the assignment. Congratulations, Mr. Ronnie. Great job, sir. We are so proud of you guys. All right, so let's move on to our 8th grade. For our 8th graders this year, this is our 8th grade beginning class. We start again a beginning class, and both 6th grade classes are beginners, but then we have a beginning 7th grade class and a beginning 8th grade class. This is our 8th grade beginners, and our number 1 rank point earner for the year was Miss Yanaria. Congratulations, Yanaria. We are so proud of you. This student earned 31 points this year. This means that she had 31 100s, because once again, students must show mastery in order to get the point for the assignment. Very good job, kids. And moving on to the students in the school who've played the longest. These are our 8th graders who, for the most part, either started 3 years ago or 2 years ago. We do have a few students in here who were in our beginning program last year, but they have been playing longer than anybody in the school. This 8th grade class called Kijani, which is Swahili for green. The person who has the most number of points in this classroom, it's kind of split, because we had a student who had the most number of points up until COVID-19 and school was dismissed. And then we had another student who had even more after COVID. So I've kind of split that this award a little bit. So for pre-COVID-19, for the most of the school year, we want to make sure that we show some love and give a wonderful shout out to the person who had the most, and she had 54 points this year, 54 100s, and that is Miss Jamila. Congratulations, sweetie. We're so proud of you guys. My 8th graders, wherever you guys end up, that school is going to be getting some pretty awesome kids and awesome musicians. 54 points. And again, that's starting with 0, everybody. That's starting with 0. Amazing job, sweetie. Amazing job. So let's once again give all these students a hand before we move on to our next portion. Congrats to all of our top point getters. So next, what we want to acknowledge, these awards are the next awards are about students who have kind of gone above and beyond, not just points, but also in the things that they do at school or outside of the school, community, what have you. So the next award we're going to start with is what I like to call our award. It's called the Attitude of Gratitude. Teachers can tell you that one of the things that is really exciting for us is we love to have students who not only love the subject matter. You know, you're going to have some kids who love music or love math or what have you, but some kids who just from day to day, all their classes, every time you interact with them in the hall, you see them in other classes, they're just really, really positive kids. And again, they have an attitude of gratitude. They're always not necessarily just bubbly, happy, but just cordial and just nice all around to everyone, treats everyone with respect. And our attitude of gratitude for band this year is going to go to Mr. Evan in 6th grade. So let's give him a hand. Mr. Evan. Good job. I'm super proud. Every time I run into this student, he's always smiling. If he makes a mistake on an assignment, they send it in to me. He's always happy to try to redo it, and he asks questions, and he's just really positive in the way he approaches everything. So thank you, Evan. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure your other teachers appreciate that too. Moving on next, we want to give out the award for the most improved. Now, this student doesn't necessarily have the highest point total, but this student has come the furthest distance from where they were last year. This student has worked extremely hard, asked a lot more questions this year, been in contact with me about different things. If there's an issue, something she doesn't know, or she's not able to do something, she always takes the incentive to give me a holler and let me know what's going on. And want to show, again, please give a big shout out and show your love for Miss Estrella. Give her a hand. Thank you, Estrella. Truly appreciate you, ma'am, and all that you do and your hard work. Because, like we said at the beginning, it's not always easy. Sometimes we have to push through some of those more difficult times. So, congrats, Estrella. We are very, very proud of you. Very proud of you. We want to also acknowledge the members of our jazz band. The members of our jazz band. We have a great group of kids, and some of these names you're going to already recognize. These students play for things at the school, and we've also done many things outside of school throughout the years. This is a great group of kids. So our jazz band this year was Ajalan, Lakota, Justin in 7th grade, because we got a couple, Luz, Zayden, who unfortunately has moved on us, Miss Lonnie, Juliet, Dana, Sochil, Jamila, Kaner, and Quinlan. Jazz band, you guys rock. And through my years of teaching and also through my years of playing, I've learned a lot from jazz. It's taught me a lot, and I use it every day. So congrats, jazz kids. Appreciate all that you guys do. And we're going to have a jazz student who wins what we call our Louis Armstrong Award that we hand out to the jazz student who really seems to love the music and is never afraid to jump in there and play a solo, right? So that student this year is Mr. Quinlan. Congratulations. You are our Louis Armstrong Award winner for the year 2019-2020. And I appreciate you always be willing to jump in there and play those solos there, big guy. Hope you have a great high school career and keep playing that jazz music. We want to next of all acknowledge our students who were involved this year in our all-county honors band. For any of our parents or folks out there who are unfamiliar with all-county band, the all-county band is like an all-star group. Our students have to audition to get into the band, and they have to audition against students from all across Gaston County, from the Belmonts to the Cramertons to the Stanleys, Cherryville. We have to audition against all those schools the student does on their instrument. So there may be 50, 75 students who are auditioning for 20 flute spots or whatever. And we were very fortunate. We always have a great turnout, and we have a good number of our kids that audition make that group. And I feel blessed and fortunate to be a part of that. This year, I got to conduct one of the bands, which meant to conduct some of my students, which was pretty neat. These are our 2020 All-County Honor Band students. Deanna in 8th grade. Dana. Jaden in 6th grade. He's our only 6th grader who made that band. Mr. Ajalan, some names you've already heard. Lakota, Luz, Justin from 7th grade, Mr. Quinlan again, Zayden, and Jamila. Many, many congrats, guys. It is quite an honor to get in that band because you have to earn it. You're not just chosen. You have to earn it. You have to, quote unquote, pass the audition. Very proud of that group. That really shows something about our kiddos at Yorkchester. Very, very proud. Wow. So we're getting down to the nitty gritty, everybody. We want to congratulate all of our award, I don't want to say winners really, but award earners, because pretty much all of our awards are based for the most part on the points that the students earn. So it's not by luck or by draw. It's by the sweat of the brow, putting in that work, as the athletes say. Our last award for tonight is what we call our Director's Award. And this year, since we are experiencing this COVID-19 moment, this is where that split is coming in that I mentioned earlier, where I had a student who had the most number of points until COVID, and I have another student who has the most after COVID. So that's where this comes in. Our Director's Award winner goes to a student who I can look at my email now, and I think this student already has more points played for me to go in there and grade and put into the system. Since we went into this situation where we're all working from home, let me see. I think I can do this. Since we went into the situation, this student has played 42 points. This isn't since the beginning of the year. Remember I talked about earlier, some of my 6th graders or 7th graders had 42 points for the entire year. This student had 42 points in this last 2 months, added to what they already did the whole rest of the year. It's really blown my mind, and it's been really, really cool to watch the growth over this period. Our final award for tonight, our Director's Award, goes to Dana. Congratulations, Dana. She's one of our 8th graders. She currently has 73 points. And as I said earlier in our broadcast, that means that's 73 100s, because you have to have a 100 to earn the point. And the point can be vocabulary or something that you have to play. It's kind of a combination. But you have to have 100s in order to earn the point. So that is tremendous. And our whole system only has 100 points. And the 100 points should scan from 6th grade to the end of 8th grade. And she's done, she has 27 left. And this is the first year that we've done this system. So very, 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 very proud of her. Proud of all you guys. Again, these are not ideal circumstances, but it is what we have. I hope that you spend time with your families, with your loved ones. Continue to make memories. This situation we find ourselves in, it will be in the history books. And it probably won't be a little paragraph blurb. You're talking about like a whole chapter. So when many of you guys get to high school or get to college, some of the text you use, even if they're digital, they're going to be talking about COVID. And they're going to be talking about this time. So I hope using this time, as challenging as it is, to make some good memories with your families and with your loved ones. Always find the time for that. Anyway, this is Mr. Wilson. Love you guys. If you need me, you can always give me a holler. Email me, text me using that Google Voice number. Send me a call. Anything. And here's to 2019, 2020. You guys be well. Keep playing. And as we always say in the Yorkchester Middle School Band, I want you to